A few years ago, I flew into town for a visit, and while I was here, I was driving my brother's car around. And one night, I went to go meet some friends at a bar. Well, I got there, I had 2 beers, and then my friend is like, hey, we're gonna move this party to someone's house. So my friend Carly hops into my passenger seat. We swing by a liquor store, pick up a bottle of vodka for the party, and then we're on the road. And I'm not driving for 2 minutes before, whoop, woo, bright red and blue lights in my rearview mirror. So I pull over and I just immediately fly into self-preservation mode. Even though it's only 2 beers, I start scouring the place for anything I can drink to help mask maybe the slight scent of beer on my breath. But there's nothing in the car except just a big fast food cup in the cup holder. And I pick it up and it's about half full, so I'm like, jackpot. And then I for about a second, I think I shouldn't probably start drinking this, but I don't inspect the contents. I just boldly venture forth. I put the straw on my lips and I just start chugging, right? I pull in the first huge mouthful, like an elephantine cartoon-sized mouthful, and right off the bat, something's not quite right because I can't immediately identify what it is I'm drinking. I thought it was gonna be like old watered-down soda, but it's thicker than that. But I'm already swallowing the first mouthful, pulling in the second huge mouthful, and it's not until I'm swallowing that I realize exactly what it is that I'm drinking. And I'm so ashamed that it took me 2 mouthfuls to figure it out because I know my brother so well and I know all of his habits. My brother chews tobacco, and when he's driving, he just spits down the straw of an empty fast food cup. Easy cleanup. What could go wrong? So there I am, sitting there trying to process the fact that I have just drank 2 heaping mouthfuls of my brother's tobacco-flaked spit. I put the cup back in the cup holder, my hand is shaking, and Carly is looking at me, and she looks terrified. She's looking at me like I just saw someone get hit by a bus. She knows something's wrong. She's like, Paul, what's wrong? But I can't even speak. I just put my hands on the steering wheel. Now, since I've been pulled over, it's only been like 30 seconds. So the cop is getting out of his car and starting to walk up to my window, and I have the awful realization that I'm going to throw up. I mean, there's no way I'm not gonna throw up. My body has to reject what's just been put inside of it, but my brain is really fighting that urge with all of its power. So there's this huge struggle going on inside my body that just kind of manifests itself like this. But I'm fighting it, and the cop gets to my car, and he's like, license and registration. So I'm like, he takes my license back to his car, and Carly's like, Paul, what's wrong? And I couldn't say it out loud. I wasn't ready to admit it. I just said, Carly, I can't tell you. Just find me anything to drink. And she's like, we don't have anything. And I was like, I have to rinse my mouth out. Find me something. And she's like, we have a bottle of vodka. Now, if you had told me at the beginning of the day that later, while pulled over, I would be strongly considering drinking vodka while the cop runs my license, I would have said, I don't believe you. I'm a pretty good writer, but I don't think I could fathom a possible scenario that finds me drinking booze on the side of the road while pulled over. Yet, there I was, considering it nonetheless. Life, it turns out, is a better writer than all of us. So not only am I considering it, in that moment, it's the only course of action that seems logical. I don't want to drink that vodka. I have to pour it straight down my throat, burn off the outer layers of skin in my mouth. I need to pour it right into my stomach to kill any bacteria that's swimming around in there. Rubbing alcohol would do better, but all I have is the vodka. So I spin around in the back seat, and I see out the back window, the cop's already coming back to my window. So I straighten back up. He gets to the window, and he says, son, is this your car? I say, no, sir, it's my brother's. And then he hands me back my license and says, tell your brother to get his taillight fixed. And just saunters off into the night. Unaware of how he's altered my evening, nay, my life. Because, folks, there are still nights that I wake up in a cold sweat thinking to myself, my God, I drank my brother's spit. so much of it. 2 beers I had that night before that fateful drive. And to balance everything out, the universe thought to punish me with 2 heaping mouthfuls of my brother's tobacco flake sputum. And I can't help but think, hey, universe, you might have overdone it just a pinch. Probably would have learned my lesson after the first mouthful of spit. So now anytime I hear some idiot make that age-old joke, do you spit or swallow? I always think to myself, neither. I swallow spit.